Oh, here. This is the Joe Rogan experience once again. Trained by day, Joe Rogan by night, all day. Let's take a look at what he had to say about homeless people.
And then we're on the underpass, and there's porta potties. Not one either, like 4, like a deck of porta potties. And then someone has a car parked there on the sidewalk, like partly on the sidewalk, so they're like half blocking a lane. And then they have like a canopy draped over their car, and they have just stacks of shit. And then next to it was a dresser. They had a dresser.
Jesus.
So they had their shoes and a shoe rack. There was a shoe rack.
Oh, the horror, bro. Can you imagine having a fucking place to put your stuff? Like, as human beings need, you know? Can you imagine creating shelter for yourself against all odds? That's really fucked up. I hate that. Now, look, is it an eyesore? Absolutely, okay? I'm not like one of those fucking weirdo, like, aesthetic liberals who's gonna be like, just turn the other cheek. Like, no, that shit sucks, okay? That is a fucking gross abdication of responsibility from the fucking government, okay? That's it. That's what that is. It is literally not just like an eyesore, but also just basic human decency being cast aside, okay? No one should have to live like that. And it is wild. It is just, it's wild that we're literally watching people live on the fucking streets, okay? In goddamn tents, in the wealthiest nation.
High-speed trains.
Like, this is where they live.
That's really wild. I didn't know also that, you know, when you see stuff like that on the streets, at least in Los Angeles or maybe in California, that's protected property, like by law. You know that? Like if you were
so you're not supposed to do that.
But like that's that person's property by law. If you were to
the homeless person's property is protected?
Yes.
What the fuck? Why? What do you mean? Like, dude, this is awesome. This is awesome. He's just straight up fucking admitting that he doesn't see homeless people as human beings.
Hassle from a mailman.
You don't say stuff like this unless you straight up don't believe homeless people are human beings. Like, that's it. He's saying, like, what? They own stuff?
Arrest you if you shot somebody. Maybe you should just go and shoot the homeless people.
I like your ideas.
Yeah. And if nobody claims it, I mean, nobody does anything about violent crime in LA anymore. It's a fucking joke.
Yeah.
They're just letting people out.
What? Does Joe Rogan not know that there was literally a fucking mass murder of homeless people in the DC, New York area? Dude. Joe Rogan faced with the truth that like homeless people are human beings and that you can't like just steal their shit even though it looks like trash. And he just fucking turns around and his first move immediately after this revelation is to just kill them. He said he was joking after this clip, but still, what the fuck? I mean, it's not a joke when the main premise that revolves around your joke is like the denying the humanity of homeless people, right? Like that's where this gets off the fucking rails and is no longer really a joke, and it's just like homie said, Joe Rogan on homeless guys, not my quote, it's actually Greg Giraldo's, R.I.P. Girlado's. This homeless guy asked me for money the other day, and I was about to give it to him. Then I thought he's just going to use it on drugs and alcohol. Why should I give it to him? Then I realized that's what I'm going to use it on. Why am I judging this poor bastard? Now, that is a good joke. It flips a like stereotypical reactionary talking point on its head and shows you the hypocrisy in it. I like that. That's not Joe Rogan apparently. It's someone else's quote, but
hassle. Just getting better with every subscription.
I bet you has a spicy meme about homeless people that he cut out of a newspaper in 2002.
You can feel free to agree or disagree. That's
Philip DeFranco doesn't give his opinion on most things, so the fact that he gave his opinion on this is kind of wild.
half the point.
He gave his opinion on the Joe Rogan thing to defend him on the joke side, but that's because he's a YouTuber, okay? If you're a content creator on YouTube, you literally have to be like, there's still the holdover from like, it's just jokes and it's free speech.
19 months of watching
you know what I mean?
Joe Rogan
like you have to say that or they will come in and they'll shoot you. they'll
for the murder of the unhoused. To me, that seems like two comedians, Rogan and Segura, talking about the authorities having their priorities out of whack. Joking that the police are more likely to try and arrest you for stealing from an unhoused person rather than if you murdered them, right? Like if you lived in a place where people were more likely to be prosecuted because they were going like 110 miles an hour in a 60 rather than committing manslaughter, you'd be like, oh yeah, if you're gonna drive 110 miles an hour, just drive into someone. To me, it just feels like a kind of a random throwaway joke. That said, I'm not gonna villainize the advocates that jumped on this story. I think
he basically said, no, he said what I said. Like, the most charitable interpretation of this is that, like,
Hasanabi.
it's like, it's more so a take about, like, the lack of prosecution revolving around, like, hardened criminals that do murder or whatever.
to talk about issues of crime within the city.
I mean, nobody does anything about violent crime in LA anymore.
With Rogan then going on to talk about issues of crime within the city and saying people are just getting away with too much. But the line that seemed to stick with a lot of people was the one about shooting unhoused people and seeming to generate a lot of anger with people saying things like, and his bitch ass was crying about the safety of comedians after Chris Rock got smacked and someone rushed the stage at a Chappelle show. Meanwhile, killings of unhoused people have been on the rise since 2010 and surged in the pandemic.
Yeah, of course he doesn't care about that. He doesn't think homeless people are human. Like, shut up. I'm never going to read your fucking dumbass essay about how jokes are actually bad. Okay? I don't care. You've read too many fucking essays. You're too much of an article head. Stop. Stop reading articles. Stop. Stop it. Here's why joking can often be violent. A thread. No. Shut up. It is violent. It's making me violent. When I hear your fucking horrifying worldview, it's making me violent.
Pandemic. And you had community leaders in Los Angeles and advocates for the unhoused speaking to Variety about this, with Theo Henderson, the creator of the We the Unhoused podcast, saying, it's repulsive. It's infuriating because it's not only out of touch, but the reality is that unhoused people are targeted by housed people. To advocate trying to shoot at unhoused people or just giving these dog whistles to people that do not see unhoused people as human beings. And Andy Bales, the head of the Union Rescue Mission Shelter in downtown LA, also saying that murders of homeless people in Los Angeles went up 47% last year over the previous year. And adding, there's a bit of an unfortunate vigilantism already.
Jokes are absolutely a tool to normalize garbage. It's just a fact. Sorry if you can't handle that. Dude, please stop. Okay? Please stop. Jokes are absolutely a tool to normalize garbage. I do not care for your dumb fucking, like, anarchitty, tender queer, I just learned about leftism from internet memes attitude. Sorry if you can't handle that. What do you think, fucking Joe Rogan? Is Joe Rogan a product of his environment and a reactionary fucking dickhead who's an out-of-touch multimillionaire? Or is Joe Rogan a sinister fucking Nazi who's secretly trying to subtly murder pill all of his fucking fan base so they can go out and kill homeless people? Because that's what you're saying, and you're a psycho! If you say that, you're a fucking psycho! You are insane. You're just an insane person who has happened to find themselves on the right side of politics and the right side of history.
I don't know. I don't know how their system works up there. I have zero understanding of their system.
Yeah?
I never looked into it.
Yo, Hassan, if you acted nicely, we'd all be communists by now. Yeah, totally.
Well, I just liked him. I liked him before the pandemic.
Trudeau?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, he's a handsome guy.
Yeah.
Seems sweet.
Yeah.
You know, it's like good looking guy, confident, good talker.
Yeah.
And then during the pandemic, I'm like, oh, you're a fucking dictator.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't like criticism. You're trying to shut down criticism by saying that all your critics are misogynists and racists.
Yeah.
You hear he said that about the trucking people, the truckers?
He called them
all misogynists and racists.
Oof.
Yeah, he's gross. He's a sketchy guy.
Yeah.
And he's got some fucking shaky deals. I would like to see like where the money is coming from.
I mean, that's so awesome. He just went, he was so good looking. And then he got that haircut, and now I think he's a dictator.
It's 2022. It's not 2019.
You know where it still feels, because I think things sway there so aggressively when something happens, where it feels like, you're like, wait, what time is it right now? Is in New York. I was just in New York.
Dude, I love this.
Yep.
I actually love this take. There's nothing more American than getting mad about another country's public health measures, which, by the way, unironically, I believe the United States also has some form of that, or had some form of that. But that's pretty funny to just be like, what the fuck's up with that, dude? What's up with the fucking border policy of Canada? It's like, what do you mean, bro? What? We have it too. And also, not only that, but like what do you mean? We're literally using COVID policy to fucking, like, you know, lock up asylum seekers from Haiti still to this day. So that's pretty tight.